Before we get into this, I just want to say, this video is for commentary, education, and discussion based on what's being reported and said online. Everything discussed is alleged, and this is not meant to bully or harass anyone involved. Welcome back to the channel.
He didn't want to come home to my food, and I was like, oh, no. Ain't nobody else cooking for my man. You're not going to mama, grandma, auntie, sister, none of them. You're not going to have to depend on somebody to feed you well or make you healthy. That's my job.
Honey, the gospel tea is getting real interesting. Mary's Tina Campbell is going through a divorce from her husband of nearly 26 years, Teddy Campbell, and these financial disclosures are giving us a whole different chapter of the story. According to court documents, Tina reported bringing in about $4,976 a month while claiming her monthly expenses are nearly $11,933. Now ma'am, that math is not mathing. That's almost a $7,000 monthly deficit. And the expenses? Around $4,100 for rent, $2,200 for utilities, $1,800 for groceries and household supplies, plus transportation, healthcare, and even $400 in charitable donations. Meanwhile, Teddy reportedly estimates his monthly income at about $7,500 as a professional drummer. But here's where the tea gets hotter. Tina is asking the court for joint legal and physical custody of their two minor children, and she's also asking that neither she nor Teddy receive spousal support. So basically, Judge, let's divide what needs dividing and everybody keep it moving. And let's not forget this marriage already survived a very public cheating scandal back in 2014. Tina famously chose forgiveness and fought for the marriage at the time. But after nearly 26 years, it looks like forgiveness didn't necessarily mean forever. And then there's her sister Erica. While Tina's divorce became public, Erica was preparing to celebrate her own 25th wedding anniversary with a vow renewal. Social media immediately had opinions, because apparently sisters aren't allowed to have separate calendars when the internet is watching. But Erica has continued publicly supporting Tina, even joining her at church and standing beside her during an emotional worship service. So at the end of the day, this isn't just a divorce. We're talking decades of marriage, children, money, music royalties, property, and a whole lot of history. And baby, if those music catalogs and marital assets eventually hit the courtroom, that could be where the real financial tea gets spilled. Because right now, we're just looking at the appetizer. And allegedly, the main course hasn't even been served yet.
I broke it.
If you divorce me, I'm going to pursue you till I get you back.
I did tell her.
And I was like, I didn't know. I know exactly where we were in our house when that man said that, and I was like, he means it. And so when you asked him, and I was like, Tina, be quiet. It's not. He didn't ask you the question.
Like,
when you asked him, what did he do to get me back? He did everything he said he was going to do. He did everything that he said he was going to do. So in the spirit, he ran to God. He prayed all day and all night. He was honest and broken before God, but he was also, excuse me. Okay, this is not a person. Anyway,
you okay?
Are you all right?
You all right? You need prayer?
Tina, I'm gonna say this the most respectful way. You should have left that man when you shot up his car. You should have left that man years ago. Because now she's coming out saying that she's only making $5,000 a month, or almost $5,000 a month, but her total expenses for like rent, her mortgage, her car, healthcare, groceries, cleaning stuff around the house is equal up to almost $12,000, and she's only making $5,000 a month. And I'm wondering, is this now the reason why we see a lot of Mary promotion of her doing like concerts and stuff with her sister, festivals and stuff with her sister? Because if you are a real Mary fan, you know around the end of the time of they were doing that show, the only reason why Erica went solo was because Tina did not want to damn work. Best advice I can give you right now, Tina, is girl, do more shows with your sister. Come out with another Mary album, because we definitely been wanting one. I ain't gonna lie, I've been missing Mary. Get me wrong, I love me some Erica by herself, but ain't nothing like no Mary. And I know for a fact a TV show, a network would definitely pick y'all show up again. Girl, do what you gotta do. Cause I ain't gonna lie, I used to be mad as hell at Tina for damn putting her damn career, like she basically real talk put her career aside for her damn marriage. Don't get me wrong, I get it, that show marriage, but girl, the fact that you did all that, you put your career aside, you goddamn took that man back after he cheated on you multiple times with people you knew, and then now he done filed from your ass, and now you out here goddamn struggling and shit. Like, oh Jesus, I'm talking about a yeah.
Now I know the Kojic church got them damn women up under witchcraft. The spirit of manipulation have taken over these damn first ladies' minds.
Where there is envy and strife, where there is rivalry, competition, disharmony, disunity, there is confusion and every evil work. You don't necessarily get that from adultery. You don't necessarily get that from stealing from the church, whatever it is that you could do murder. It says where there is envy and strife. So when there's disunity in your home, you open the door to the devil and every one of his demons and utter confusion. That's why before we worked this out, I was schizophrenic. Happy, sad, fulfilled, unfulfilled, love my children, hate them, love him, want to kill him, love Mary, can't stand it, just utter schizophrenic. Because I had opened the door to confusion and every evil work.
Her husband been laying and playing with Cat and probably damn Bussy too. But she is the one that opened the door for chaos and confusion to come in her marriage, bitch. Because she wouldn't let him do it in peace. You heard it right.
So it does me good to agree with him. It does me good to get along with him. It does me good to forgive him. Otherwise, the devil gonna come in and destroy us, the kids, everybody.
This is her explaining how she is in the wrong for bringing chaos into their marriage because of what the book of James says, dismissing the adultery that he committed that ushered in chaos because it's not written in that scripture in the book of James. Listen to this shit now. So she was the one in that era. Yeah, we know her husband was getting Cat and probably fucking Bussy on the side. But it was she. It was on her. It would be beneficial for her to just get along with her husband. And because she bringing chaos and won't let this man get Bussy and Cat on the side in peace, the Lord punishing her. Listen to this shit now. Go listen to what the woman said. Go listen to the shit again. Ain't nobody but them old Warlockiana witches in the Kojic church planted that shit in that girl head like that, wanting to share misery so she can be shamefaced like they pitiful asses. And the number one culprit is her own damn mammy.
So for 2 years now, since the summer of 2024, I've been standing on Isaiah 50. It's either verse 7 or verse 8. And in the New Living Translation it says, because the sovereign Lord helps me, I will not be ashamed. Therefore I have set my face like a stone, determined to do his will, and I will not be put to shame. My God is still good. My God is still faithful. My God is still with me. And if God be for me, even this won't stand against me. Praise him through it, and he'll get you through it.
Teddy Campbell is what it looks like when you don't love or value yourself. And she also looks like a woman heavily indoctrinated into a cult religion. And when I talk about Christianity, I don't say that to offend the people who are Christian that follow me. My journey out of religious indoctrination is mine, right? I'm speaking to what I know. My mother stayed in a marriage where she was being physically abused, and I would have to think at some degree sexually abused, because I don't know at any time, I can't look back at any time in my parents' marriage where my mother would have felt like, I'm getting with your daddy tonight. Because it was not a loving relationship. It was not kind. My dad was violent and abusive. But I know that my parents still engage in sexual activity because my mother was a Christian woman that believed that abuse was not grounds for divorce. Only adultery was. And even if my father committed adultery, I don't think my mother would have left, because that's how heavily indoctrinated some women are into that Christian faith. That's Tina Campbell. Tina was not going to leave that man. Through all the public humiliation, she was not going to leave him, so he had to leave her. And a lot of Christian women, and I think this is why, people will say, why do y'all keep talking about this religion if y'all don't like it anymore? If y'all left the church, stop talking about it. And I will say, and while you're in the church, you stop talking about your faith. Stop preaching to people. Stop dropping, I'm praying for you in people's comment section. Stop walking up to them and saying, God told me something. You see how you are excited about your faith and your religion, and you feel like you got to tell everybody? We are so excited to be out of that faith, out of that cult, that we talk to people. And it may not be a conversation for you, and that's okay. But women like Tina, women like my mother, who are so heavily indoctrinated into this Christian faith, literally will commit to suffering their entire lives for the prospect, no proof, no evidence, for the prospect of a heaven in the next life. Beyond her political stuff and all of her shenanigans, I really feel for her. Like, I have deep empathy for her, because I know that the decision she's making for her life is rooted in a belief system that has always been to harm. And that's all of us, black, white, brown, all of us. This belief system was designed for us to harm each other and to allow ourselves to be harmed. And she allowed herself to be harmed repeatedly because of this religion and because of this faith. And my prayer is that when this is all said and done, in the same way that I feel like I'm watching Kev on stage deconstruct in real time, my prayer is, when it's all said and done, that she sit with her life and the God that she served and evaluate, based on the life I've lived, based on the pain I've suffered, is this a God I want to continue to serve? I'm not sure that that's going to happen. But to be honest, I didn't think I'd ever see Kev on stage deconstructing in real time. And here we are. I hope that for her.
I ain't gonna hold y'all. When I seen this about Tina, the first thing that came to my fucking mind was religion done took her ass through there, okay? Religion done took our sis Tina the fuck through there. That's what I thought. Because even watching them on their show, and the multiple allegations, the multiple times she has caught her husband being unfaithful across these 2 decades that you have been married to this man, but you wouldn't give up on your marriage. And then you got you and your sister in that moment in the kitchen, and she telling you to fight for your marriage and bringing the word and the Lord and religion into it. That was beyond me. That was beyond my understanding. I already felt like she suffers from some type of willful ignorance when it comes to religion and religious psychosis when it comes to her religion. And the fact that she uses God as an excuse and a cop-out in everything, including voting for Trump because of his values that align with mine. I always felt like something was off with Tina. Especially Tina. Maybe not so much her sister, and probably with her too, but especially Tina. I always felt that that woman was suffering from some type of religious psychosis, and that church done took her ass through there. And now for your sacrifice, you sitting there and having to swallow and live with the pain of your husband's infidelity, probably year after year after year, banger after banger after banger. You forgiving him. You got your helmet of salvation on. You going to war. You praying for your marriage and for your raggedy ass, cheating ass husband. He turns around after you are all used up and got shit else to give him. No more energy left in your vessel. He turns around and he's the one that fucking divorced you. And he probably had to do that because you wouldn't have, you would have still stayed otherwise. If he ain't do you that favor, after 20 some odd years of marriage, you would have stayed in that raggedy, toxic ass marriage with your husband, still praying for this man and praying that your marriage turns around after 2 decades. Don't feel no ways about it, Tina. Don't feel no ways about it. And I hope after this divorce, you finally have peace.
Teddy Campbell is a prime example of why married women need to start taking relationship advice from their single friends. So I'm going to tell you this right now. She tolerated stuff that your single friends would never tolerate. And she's doing the same thing that a lot of other women have done. She's staying in that marriage to that man, I don't know, maybe 20 years. That's a pretty long time. This man openly cheated on her. They talked about it on TV. This ain't no rumors. They talked about it, okay? And of course, she was on the TVs talking about she's staying with him because that's what God wanted to do, all the other good stuff. God ain't never told you to be a doormat and not have no boundaries. That's what a lot of married women do. They don't teach you to be healthy. They teach you to utilize the same coping skills that they utilize. Some people will teach you it through the lens of spirituality. I ain't got no issues with church, nothing like that. That's just what she was using. I don't believe anything about what she did had anything to do with being Christian. That had everything to do with her being a person who was trauma bonded. And that was her anchor. She used that as an anchor. But regardless, I would rather take advice from the girl who will leave a man at any moment. Okay? I am that girl. Baby, I can love you today and leave you tomorrow. And I will get over it. And you know what? I'll be happier because I know that I didn't tolerate what I didn't deserve. And I will tell you to leave when I think you need to leave. But you got a whole lot of people out here who say, oh, no, because they single. No, they ain't got no good advice for you. Girl, please. The best advice comes from somebody who already got some boundaries. The best advice comes from somebody who don't tolerate disrespect. I don't care that auntie been married 15 years, 20 years, 50 years. Meanwhile, Unc done cheated on her, had kids outside of marriage, done all this other stuff. She's a cautionary tale She's not some kind of elder that I need to be listening to. She's the person that you need to be running from.
Ain't nothing worse than riding for a man and then he turn around and do you dirty. There's nothing worse than that. And Tina Campbell from Mary, sister, I'm praying for you, because y'all know this woman rode for this man. There were so many allegations about him dealing with family, dealing with friends, all this type of stuff. And because she was a woman who loved her God, and I be telling y'all, married to these men, the Lord gives y'all permission to divorce these cheaters. That's literally in the Bible. Y'all ain't got to ride for these men for the Lord. But she rode for her husband because of her family and everything else. But I tell y'all, just because you ride for these men does not mean they're going to ride for you. Because riding for that man is only proving that you are willing to sacrifice, that you're willing to go through humiliation, embarrassment, and everything else with your family and friends because of him, your love for him. But he hasn't shown you by going out there and cheating and coming back home. That's what he's done, gone out here and cheated and come back home. He's not shown you that he's willing to sacrifice. And oftentimes in these relationships, women give so much. And as soon as you try to make this man change a little bit, as soon as you try to make him move a little bit different, he'll leave you. And more than likely, they had kids. He wanted to be in that house with his kids. His kids are grown now. Now he doesn't need her in the same way he did. He doesn't care about being in the house with her anymore because the kids are leaving. The kids aren't there. And that's why women, we cannot allow these men that show us who they are to use up our good time and then move along with their life when they no longer have use for us. God bless you, Tina. Be safe, girl.
And honestly, after almost 26 years of marriage, this is looking like way more than just a breakup. There's money, custody, assets, music royalties, and decades of history involved. So we'll have to see what happens when the rest of those marital assets start getting addressed. Because baby, the financial disclosures may have been the appetizer, but that asset division could be the whole buffet. And allegedly, that's the tea.
What I said is, if during your campaign what you said appealed to me and it appealed to my Christian values more than the other candidate, then when it comes down to it, I chose based on my faith. I didn't really like either one of the candidates, if I could just be honest. But it was two people that had a chance of winning, and so I voted based on my faith. Do I agree with everything that's being done and being said? No. Do I promote and advocate any of that? No. And do I choose to give any more of my time to anybody who has an opinion about my right to vote and to who I vote for and what behind it? Not at all. So what's the next question?
Okay.
Teddy Campbell, ladies and gentlemen.
That last part right there.
I'm a Christian. I'm supposed to pray for the leaders. Stand with does not mean I agree with everything.
Right.
It means that I pray for you.
But do you understand that people were a little upset because of the things that he's been doing to this country?
I'm upset with the things that he's doing in this country.
We got a follow-up, though,
I'm upset with a lot of that, but I don't agree with all of the choices, and I established that in my letter, but
you
nobody
do
wants
have
to talk
a right
about
to
that.
vote for who you want to vote for, who you want to stand, but people were upset, and you can understand
I ain't out campaigning for nobody but Jesus.
If you made it this far, thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more tea.